Business 200, Principles of Marketing, and this is Chapter 9. So we're still working on Unit 3, which is responding to your customer, and Chapter 9 is about personal selling. Here are your learning objectives. Here's your executive perspective that I'd like you to read. All right, here we go. Personal selling consists of the two-way flow of communication between a buyer and seller that is paid for by the seller and seeks to influence the buyer's purchase decision. Ooh, whoops. Virtually everything we do in the course of a day, from the trivial to the truly miraculous, is a direct result of someone selling something to someone else. As the eyes and ears of the organization, salespeople gather information about customer likes and dislikes and share it with marketers and product designers. They also provide market feedback on competitors and trends in the macro environment. And at the macroeconomic level, selling is an engine of economic growth for vast sectors of the economy. Customer lifetime value focuses on the net present value of a customer's business over the span of their relationship with an organization. And then as a result, relationship selling is the core of all modern selling strategies. Under this approach, salespeople are focused on establishing and maintaining customer trust and not just on meeting periodic sales quotas. And here is an example of relationship selling by Adidas. And here's a visual that shows the factors that influence emphasis on personal selling. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, each day more than 15 million people earn their living trying to convince someone else to make a purchase. That's 1 out of every 9 American workers. The chances are that if you are not a sales professional yourself, you are related to one or know one quite well. Here are the sales salaries by job title. Inside sales, sales representative, account executive, sales manager, and district sales manager. And here are some more. Types of sales positions. There's new business salespeople are responsible for primarily for finding new customers and securing their business. There's channel sales representatives, look to win, maintain, and expand relationships with channel partners. They're, in contrast to new business salespeople, there are order taker salespeople as sales reps who primarily process orders that a customer initiates. There's delivery salespeople, also known as route salespeople. And then there's consultative sellers, instead focus on developing long-term relationships. There's missionary salespeople, generate sales by promoting the firm and encouraging demand for its goods and services. And then there's goods and services with key account sellers. These sales reps typically focus on establishing partnership relationships with a small set of 3 to 5 named accounts. And here is an example of some delivery salespeople from Frito-Lay. So sales managers have oversight of selling efforts at varying levels of the organization's organizational hierarchy. Technical specialists are sales reps who work in complex sales settings. Technical specialists in high-tech sectors like aerospace, enterprise software typically have educational backgrounds in fields like engineering, computer science, and physics. These technical specialists are often referred to as sales engineers. So here are the steps of the personal selling process, or the stages of the personal selling process. we'll go over each of these stages. So the first step in the pre-sales call is prospecting. Prospecting involves the search for potential customers, those who need or want a product and fit into a firm's target market. The main goal of this step is to find qualified prospects. In the pre-approach stage, the personal selling process, the salesperson does research and preparation before contacting the customer. In the approach stage, the sales rep meets the customer for the first time. Once the salesperson has succeeded in obtaining a meeting, the next goal is to build rapport or a close relationship with a decision maker or key influencers. In the FAB, so feature, advantage, benefit approach, features are attributes or facts relating to the product being sold or demonstrated. Advantages are general statements about what the features do. They may or may not be connected to an expressed or actual customer need. Benefits are the individual values attached to the advantages offered by various features of the product. So here is an example of the FAB approach for Special K. And then gaining commitment, ask prospect to move forward with the sales process, summary close, alternative close, and assumption close. And then there's follow-up, create customer satisfaction in long-term relationships. Here's a gaining commitment example from Henry Ford. Foundations of sales success. They represent customer advocacy, a specific form of customer service in which companies focus on what is best for the customer. In order to be a trusted advisor and effectively co-create with our value with customers, sales professionals must continually improve their market-related knowledge. This includes both understanding of the goods and services and processes within their own firm and of key business issues that affect customer success. Here is an example of market-related knowledge with an Amazon Fire. Selling-related knowledge includes sales abilities and an understanding of selling techniques. SPIN is an acronym that refers to the questions that feature most prominently in successful sales calls. Situation, problem, implication, and need payoff questions. And here's sales technology and sales analytics. There's customer relationship management, and this tracks customer data. Then there's CRM systems, allow sales to manage customer relationships, contacts, deals, events, and tasks. You need quality data for these systems. One significant new analytics-based application is lead scoring. In this approach, a company numerically rates its best prospective customers. The company develops ratings by running various internal and external data through statistical models that identify those traits that make the customer more likely to purchase. Then we have social selling. This involves the use of online, mobile, and social media to engage customers, build customer relationships, and increase sales. Salesforce management involves planning, direction, and control of personal selling activities. The modern sales environment features much greater use of team selling. In this approach, the salesperson, often with help from sales management, organizes experts from across the extended firm to support new customer acquisition and ongoing customer relationship management. Sales organizations use a number of sizing approaches. The approach can be broadly categorized as cost-based or market-based. The size of the sales force affects customers, sales people, and the overall company. Here's an example of team selling. Sales management must decide whether to structure the sales force along generalist or specialist lines. A sales force need for generalists or specialists is guided by two factors: market considerations and the firm's overall marketing strategy. So hunters typically focus on acquiring accounts that are new to the selling firm. Farmers cultivate existing accounts and current customer relationships to drive revenue growth and minimize churn. Territories typically are defined on the basis of geography. Doing so brings certain advantages, but also brings some disadvantages. Design of sales territory need to match the workload and opportunity in each territory to the abilities of the corresponding salesperson or team. So here is a table identifying the advantages and the disadvantages of geographic sales territories. So the fixed amount referred to as a base salary gives the salesperson some stable income. Incentive pay is typically based upon achievement of sales goals. Often referred to as sales quota, these goals represent the minimum desired sales level for an individual or team for a specific period of time. Quota-based commissions and bonuses are the two most common incentive compensation plans. A commission is a per unit payout paid on sales beyond the salesperson's quota. And then a bonus is a lump sum paid out to salespeople for the achievement of their respective quota levels. Total sales turnover in good and bad times run between 25 and 30%. That is the equivalent of the entire sales force must be replaced at many firms every 4 years or so on average. While companies usually recognize the direct cost of recruiting and training a new salesperson, these calculations often do not take into account lost revenue opportunities. In addition, customers and competitors often take loss of top of salespeople a sign of vulnerability. The best strategy for dealing with a loss of top performers is to make a more pronounced effort to recognize and reward the successes of salespeople the company does not wish to lose. Research shows that a salesperson's interpersonal identification with his or her sales manager contributes to superior customer satisfaction ratings for the representative and stronger sales performance. Here's an example of new product launch. With the rising use of social media networks among consumers and business buyers, sellers' ethical infractions may become highly visible to external stakeholders, including prospective customers and investors. These have the potential to cause a significant damage to corporate reputation. The SMEI Code of Conduct begins with 3 pledges that serve as excellent guides for all sales professionals. I hereby acknowledge my accountability to the organization for which I work and to society as a whole to improve sales knowledge and practice and to adhere to the highest professional standards in my work and personal relationships. My concept of selling includes as its basic principle the sovereignty of all consumers in the marketplace and the necessity for mutual benefit to both buyer and seller in all transactions. I shall personally maintain the highest standards of ethical and professional conduct in all my business relationships with customers, suppliers, colleagues, competitors, governmental agencies, and to the public. And that is the end of chapter 9.